Alright, so we are going to make some of our open pore frogs today. So I'm just going to make a couple frogs, but I want to experiment with some new colors. So we're going to do 1 cup of plastisol total. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split this. Once I heat it up, I'm going to split it into 2 half cups that I can make the color out of, but it just heats up a little bit more evenly when you do it all together. Alright, so it looks like we're all set with our temperature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1 cup of plastisol, I'm going to try to split it as evenly as I can into these 2 half cups. That way I can get equal amounts. Alright, so what we're trying to do here is we're going to make some frogs, but we're using white ice as our reference. So we see just a straight white belly. You know, there's some bleed in that flake there, but we're just going to go straight white with the belly, and then it's going to be a clear top with some silver flakes. So that's what we're going to use as our reference to make these frogs. Alright, so we'll make this side our white side. So we're shaking up our white pigment, and we're using half a cup of plastisol. We're going to start just with a few drops to see where that gets us. So once we've finished our white side, we're going to start working with our clear. I'm just going to use some silver flake here. This is 0.015. So it's kind of small. And we're going to start with as little as we can. That way it does not become too much glitter. Because honestly, looking at our kind of reference point here, I feel like that's a little bit too much silver. So I'm going to try to tone it down just a little bit. And that might actually be perfect. Alright, our plastisol is nice and hot. We are ready to pour. This is one of, I think, my favorite ways to open pour now. I kind of just discovered it, I guess you could say by accident, but I think it looks awesome. So we're going to be doing a side-by-side pour. So we want white on one side, and then we're going with that clear with silver flake on the other side here. Just like that. There we go. Finish pouring in the arms here. Then our silver side. All right, here we go. They're nice and set up. And this is what we're looking like. So we can see in the head, it kind of got swirled there, but at the body where the hook slot is, that's a pretty good split. You know, I'll go back, you know, clean up around the legs. But other than that, I don't think that's too bad. I think that one came out pretty good. The second one came out a little bit better in the head section, but then I have some swirl there. But I think that's just a really cool look, a really cool presentation, and this will get bites, baby. We are trying something completely new. Okay, not completely new, but new concept. All right, so I have 2 cups of Plastix all nice and heated up. We are going to play around with dual injecting some dead-on Plastix color morphs. So I have the Smashberry and I have the Kiwis. So the Smashberry is a color shift from purple to brown, and the dead-on Plastix Kiwi is a color shift or color morph from green to brown. So we're going to mix these up really, really well, and then I will kind of explain what we're going to do. Okay, so I've mixed up both bottles extremely well. Now, the color morphs are relatively translucent, which means we're going to be looking for, that's weird. So we're going to add some watermelon and some Junebug, or black grape, as our bases. I recently saw a watermelon to purple laminate, and I thought it was really cool, and I decided why not make a color shift version of that. So that's what we're doing right here. Okay, so I have everything mixed up. Apparently this watermelon is leaking. And I am just going to add, you know, we're working with about 3/4 of a cup each. So I'm just going to do a couple drops to give me a little bit of a base. So I have a little bit of a green base, a little bit of a purple base. But that will go a long way to kind of give our color shifts that base color that we need. So here, and then adding our watermelon over here. Alright, so here we have our watermelon side, and we're going to take our kiwis. And let's see if we can get it in there. Looks pretty good. And then we have our purple side. And then we're going to add our Smashberry here. Oh, I've never used Smashberry. Sweet. So I gotta take the little protective film off first. Okay. And this might be a little dark, which we'll see what happens. But that's okay. Alright, first time playing with it. Alright. Now, for our watermelon side, we're going to add black flake. This is the small black flake. I'm going to do the large black flake instead. Just like that. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of black flake to our purple side. And I'm also going to add a little bit of purple to our purple side. I saw somebody do this, and it came out looking really, really good. So we're going to mix this up, and then I'll show you what we're working with. Okay, so this is what we're looking like. Let's see if we can get it in the camera here. Just a little bit of black flake for some texture, and I really want that purple flake shining through. I don't know if it's coming out on the camera there, but that's what we're looking like. And then on our watermelon side, looking pretty good with that black flake, just like that. I have my flukes and I have my stick baits. We're going to start with the stick baits to see what happens, and we're going to go purple on the top for our flukes, and then our green on the bottom. Obviously that doesn't make a difference for our stick baits. But here we go. Holding some pressure. Top it off. And then our flukes. And while those are cooling, let's take a look right there. That looks pretty cool, man. See, it's kind of light green when I expose it to some more light, and it has more of a darker green down here when there's a base. And our purple starts off. Focus, buddy. Doesn't want to focus too much there. That's all right. Okay, here we go. We're starting off with our stick baits. This is our June bug side, or purple side. That's our laminate. Let's see if I can get a close-up on that. Just like that. There's our watermelon. There's our purple. Holy smokes. Look at that. Good laminate, watermelon to purple. That purple flake on the purple side really comes out. And then let's try something. Alright, so this hopefully will have enough lighting in the back there. Let's see. Doesn't get too much brown, which I'm surprised by. Unless it's got, you know, a really solid back. But that green that I added, that watermelon green that I added, that purple that I added to start with, really comes through. And it makes it a more watermelon and purple laminate, and it kind of takes away some of the that color shift. So I might have added too much pigment, but they still look really good. Alright, now let's take a look at how our flukes came out. These with the thin tail, we should have a better look. Oh my gosh, look at those tails. There's that green coming through. There's that purple top. Let's take a look at our laminate here. Nice laminate. Here we go. Holy smokes, man. Look at that. Look at that. That looks so good. Depending on the angle, depending on the light, comes out more brown. So our color shift, watermelon to purple. And we hold it up to the light.